we begin with the Standard newspaper, and it is that heartbreaking story that we brought you earlier. Baby Osinya unfortunately has a bullet lodged in his head, and this is following that tragic church attack on Sunday.
Absolutely, that's a top story on the Standard. Baby Osinya, the mother was killed in that unfortunate attack. She died while she tried to defend the baby. The brother is the one who actually took, his young brother and took him up after the mother died. So a conversation that, and really a situation that is unfolding, that is heartbreaking, that is both sad, but indeed brings the situation much home closer. The situation about the terrorism attack and what it can do, to innocent people at whatever time. This family, by all intents and purposes, were just going to church on Sunday morning, going to pray, going to thank the Lord about their personal issues, and then, just thrusted, into this hate, all manner of senseless hate and madness that has been. So this is an unfortunate situation. We hope that, Baby Osinya can travel to Kenyatta National Hospital and get... Because
there is no specialist in Mombasa, another unfortunate neurosurgeon, situation to be able to treat the baby. It's a delicate surgery, we understand. Any missteps or mishaps with that could cause further damage to him. Of course, hopefully that he will recover from this and lead a normal life. Read about that in the Standard today. Page 2, fresh controversy in ODM over Mathare Bonchari mini polls. So the by-elections are coming up, and controversy also is... All
right, so this is interesting. The Budalai MP, he's part of the caretaker team that ODM put together after their botched elections. And on Sunday, they went to Mathare and to the church of Bishop Margaret Wanjiru and said ODM should give Kariuki a direct nomination.
Yes.
Well, that hasn't gone down so well with the other aspirants in Mathare who yesterday stormed the party offices and say, you must do an election.
Yeah.
So interesting to see how this caretaker committee takes care of this matter, because Ababu Namwamba would be the Secretary General, and this he would be seen, as part of, what he has to do.
Yeah, he had said his feeling is that if somebody does go to court, seek that legal recourse and wins, then it should automatically mean or be that this person, seeing that they're the ones who move to court, then get the direct nomination.
Absolutely.
That is what he said in church. So it will be interesting to see how that will develop.
How they decide, because they're the ones who are going to decide now.
True,
yes.
They will be the ones to decide. Senators back push for more funds, and leaders say proposed 217 billion shillings is below expectations, and they're calling on governors to account for every cent allocated to devolution. We already saw the senator, Nairobi County, telling the governor, I want to know how the billions so far in this county have been utilized. And so perhaps see more senators saying the same to their governors.
I think so, and I think this is a continuation story that has been devolution, where the senators are saying that it's our duty and our rightful duty to audit and have the national oversight of the counties, and the governor say, we have no idea of where every penny is going. You need to ask, the accounting officers, not us per se. So I think it's just the pull and push of devolution that has been, and then now we're discussing about the next budget, how much actually is the central government is going to give to the county governments.
Okay. And also on page 9, one of the stories, one more you can read in the Standard today, crisis looms over county officials and TSC standoff. So schools heads sidelining county executives on grounds that they cannot fire them is one of the stories that's there, as well as MCAs acted within law to impeach Wambora. Those are the words of the Attorney General in his opinion, his experts. Opinion is that they did not do anything illegal. They were right in their mandate. And of course, the back page fever pitch is La Liga Quest Open. Messi reignites title race with treble score at Real.
Absolutely. It's open. I think they're just 1 point below Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. And they had to win this match to give them a chance for them to, get at least an honest chance into winning the title. So yes, it's wide open. About 3 teams can win it now.
Have you gotten over the defeats?
About 4 teams in England can win it, including Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City. Yes.
But have you gotten over Arsenal being beaten?
There's another game today.
Against who?
Manchester United is playing Manchester City.
Oh, Daily Nation, chaos delays as land bosses fight for power. Again, that is a story that has been dragging on for quite a while now. LSK chairman raises the red flag over delays in the processing of crucial documents that the public needs for bank loans and mortgages. So this, we wonder what it will take for it to finally be concluded, James.
Honestly, it's just getting painfully, really boring, because this is a small situation that needs just to be arrested. I mean,
yeah.
Who do these people work for?
I know. Do they know Kenya? 40 million plus Kenyans?
Come on, I mean, we can't just allow, this kind of useless conversation going on forever, when clearly we have a constitution and we have institutions, and I mean, we have a president and a cabinet. I mean, this situation should not be going this far, because it's completely, there is absolutely no reason for us to continue discussing issues about Charity Ngilu and Mohamed
Zuri. Yes, and who's supposed to do what, whose mandate is what. It is annoying when we have the CIC, when we have the Supreme Court, when people can actually seek that interpretation and move on. Anyway, read more about that there. Page 4 and 5. Double tragedy as boat carrying DRC refugees capsizes. 108 people were killed in that tragic incident. You can read that about the deadly waters is covered for you in the Daily Nation.
Well, the sad thing about that story is that all of those who were killed were trying to move back home after security was restored in DR Congo. So they were moving from refugee situation, going back home, and a boat capsizes and they die. Quite unfortunate and a sad story there.
All right, let's go to the back page of the Daily Nation. MPs vote to block same-sex unions. So lawmakers delete clause that would have allowed CES to register other types of marriage. So the Uganda situation, what we saw there, definitely, perhaps not in the same magnitude here, but they're keen to ensure that same-sex marriage does not happen at all.
Absolutely. Continue conversation that does continue. On the Star, Uhuru and Ruto have not taken pay cuts. That is the truth. And no one has taken pay cuts yet. But people have made pronouncements. That's what has happened.
Yes.
So Sarem has not received salaries letter, because you need to actually write an official letter. Then, you need to say your bank account. The details of how your money should be deducted. That has not happened yet.
Okay.
The Star is that story. Ruto and MPs are fighting devolution, says Ruto with double T-O, that is Governor Ruto. He clarified that one said his name is Ruto, R-U-T-O, not double T-O. This is a creation of the media. But the point of the governor is the deputy president and URP, he says, who are the MPs allied to the deputy president at the earliest of opportunity in public forums. They find reason to accuse governors of all imagined ills.
Yes.
He says that's top story there on the on page 2 of the Star. Kidero must respond to audit query. Senator Mike Sonko has said Governor Evans Kidero must respond to the audit report that raised queries over the management of county funds. Now Sonko says that there's questions that have been asked, specific questions about monies in the county, how they've been spent and how they've been used. His role as a senator is to ask those questions, the oversight role, and that's what it is on page 2 of the Star. On the People, hands off new law. Wako warns MPs. Senate Speaker Ekwethuru and Busia Senator Moswako lead colleagues in rejecting bid members of National Assembly to start 80 million audit of the Constitution to identify areas that may be costing the economy dearly. The story of changing the Constitution, MPs, a couple of MPs coming up with bills on how they want to, panel beat or ratify some of the laws that are being talked about. A picture for you on Governor Evans Kidero with socks that, has seen better times on top of you, the Daily Nation. Catch that. Also, I don't know, Sophia, what are your thoughts about, this situation of Nairobi?
Why is he showing us his torn sock?
Well, what happened is he was invited in a function, and then he had to test a gym equipment, so he had to remove his shoes.
Oh
and
my
God.
God.
And then, a soft underbelly. Right in front, of the public. Oops, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. James, do you want to show us whether
Absolutely.
your socks?
Absolutely.
Please show us. get this shot of whether James
Ma'am,
sucks at.
I will show you. Anyway,
All right.
Read about how Huru News pledged to deal with a family with rising terror threat. So that we covered for you on page 2 of The People, coming hot on the heels of the situation in Mombasa, terror threats, and the president talked tough, and he said we will go to the last man.
All right.
To the people who are causing terror and the agents of terror.
The agents of terror, indeed. That tough talk continues. It is now 6:40 a.m. We are glad you're watching Morning Express. In a short while, we're crossing over for our business update and some of the stories that Karanja and team are following for us on that front.